When applying for your F1 student visa, you will have to do an interview at the United States Consulate or Embassy in your country. It is important to prepare for your interview in advance so that you can enter smooth sailing no matter what your interviewer throws at you. Make sure to prepare for your interview because there are a lot of students that fail this interview simply because they didn't put in the work to get ready for it. Many ended up getting asked unexpected questions they were not ready to answer, and were not able to give the correct or clear responses to what can be very difficult questions. What is an F1 visa? F1 is a non-immigrant visa that is usually granted for a period of 5 years. This visa is issued to academic students enrolled in universities, colleges, high schools, language training programs, and other academic institutions. You would have to prove that you have intentions to return home after your education is completed. If your visa interviewer knows that you want to become a permanent resident in the States, your application will be rejected. F1 Visa Interview. The F1 visa interview is a brief interview between you and a visa officer which establishes that you meet the requirements of the visa. Not all F1 visa applicants need to interview. Specifically, students under 13 years old or older than 80 years old have no requirement to interview. However, if you do need to interview, you will schedule the interview through the U.S. Embassy or consulate in your home country. It is important to note that you must receive your F1 visa at least 30 days prior to your academic program start date. Since the F1 visa is the last step before receiving your visa, make sure to schedule your interview as early as possible to ensure that you will meet the deadline for the visa. F1 Student Visa Interview Questions. We cannot say it often enough. Every interviewer is different, and there are no set questions he or she might ask. However, the intent of the interview is simple enough. 1. To understand your intent, whether it is to settle in USA or to study and come back. 2. And more importantly, to assess whether or not you can afford your stay in the USA. Based on the simple understanding, here are a few sample questions that might be asked and tips on how to answer them. Question: why have you chosen this specific university? You should go through the website and handbook of your university carefully. Pen down some highlighted features such as world ranking, the research facility, the faculty profile, alumni profile, etc. Visa officers want to know the reason behind joining a particular university. Question: which all universities did you apply to, both admits and rejects? Visa officer wants to know if you are really serious about your education. Even if you applied to 4 and were accepted in 1 and got 3 rejects, honesty is the only way. Be honest about which all universities you chose. Question: where did you complete your bachelor's from? Mention the name of the course and the university. If the university has a high ranking or some specific feature, mention that too. Question: who is sponsoring you? If you have the scholarship to study in the USA, say that. Else, mention the name of your sponsors. You may add that your father and mother are supporting you for your higher education as per the financial documents. Question: what does your father or mother do? Visa officers basically want to verify the financial capability of the sponsors. You are advised to go through the income tax returns, or ITR, and supporting documents of your sponsors carefully. Have a good idea of the income source of your father, mother, and any other person who is sponsoring you. Question: do you have any relatives in the USA? Be truthful at this instance. The visa officer will have a full record of this about your brother, sister, mother, or father with them. If your distant aunt or uncle stays there, then you don't have to say anything about them. Question: why don't you do this course in your country? You should know what difference the course would bring you if done in the USA instead of your home country. If the course is not available in your home country, you can tell the visa officer that it is not offered in your home country. If the same course is available in your home country, highlight the differences in the quality of education and the course structure in your home country and the USA. You should convince the visa officer that doing this course from the USA will add value to your profile. Talk about a few pieces of research being conducted in that field. Technical words work out when other things don't. Question: what will you do after completing studies? Tell me how you can prove that you are going to come back. If you intend to work after completing your course, then say so. Tell them you are looking forward to working with some companies back in your home country. It would be good to mention the names of a few companies. If you are working, you could mention that you have an offer of joining your last organization back after completing your education. If you are well inclined towards continuing your education and pursuing research, mention the same as well. But do provide a hint that your family continues to be in your home country and you would want to come back to them once your academic pursuits are over. It will not be wrong to say that the F1 visa is basically your gateway to the United States. If you meet the requirements and qualifications, you could pursue your studies in the USA and take up part-time campus employment as well. All you need to do is prepare yourself properly for the
Progresscard Educational Consultants Private Limited, your trusted partner for overseas education.